I walked around. Wow. God. Anyway, so I'm gonna take
From the belly of the beast! No justice, no peace! 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 No justice, no peace!
Hey, all right.
Ceasefire! From the beast! From the belly of the beast! No justice, no peace! 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 As we're marching today, we are gathering here for, as you all know, for the 77 years of Nakba, the catastrophe that took place in 1948. We've probably been hearing about it for the past week. If you know about Palestine for the past years, every single year, we stand somewhere in our region, in our cities, in our neighborhood to just say that we're still remembering. We're still remembering that Palestine is our land. That Palestine had Palestinians who lived there, who were kicked out, genocided, displaced for 77 years. And unfortunately, it's a continuous Nakba. It's a continuous catastrophe. It actually did not stop. And we can see it now more than before. We can see it in Gaza, in Tulkarem, in Jenin. I'll leave all the statistics and all the details and political updates for you when you go home and you see your feeds, because now we cannot just keep talking about it. But as we're marching today, I want to invite you to feel your pain. We have so much pain and we have so much rage, and our bodies are really tired, and we're very, very disappointed, and we have all the right to feel so. But in order for us to make a change, we have to feel those feelings, what's gonna bring us forward, recognizing the amount of catastrophe that we're actually in. Because if we don't know where we're at right now, we will not know how to go to that vision that we have, to build this world that we really imagine, instead of the one that is imposed on us, full of blood and oppression. And in the past, it was all the way in this Middle East, far away, in this far place. It's getting closer and closer by day. I do believe and I know every single one of us feel it in their neighborhoods, in their city. How many of us lost a job? How many of us was attacked, harassed, just for the sake of saying, I want the end of this genocide. I don't want humans to be killed. Like the basic thing any human on this earth would ever ask for. And we're here not only for the Nakba, but also today is the birthday, the 100th birthday of Malcolm X. 100 years.
He's an inspiration.
He's an inspiration, he's a leader, he's a Muslim, black American who spoke to the consciousness of the American people. He was not just preaching, he actually was talking right through, piercing the consciousness, which they tried to manipulate. No, on his time it was 100 years. And it's still happening. You read his quotes, it's still applied till this day. And he always spoke about Zionism. And he always saw that the struggle for black people is connected to the global struggle of all oppressed people. He always thought that if you fought for Palestine, you're actually fighting for the liberation of all human beings. It's all one fight against colonialism and against imperialism, against capitalism. It's all one thing. It's not religion. It's not about religion or a country or where you're from. It's about
capitalism.
It's about
Colonialism.
all of the things, right? All of the things that we're suffering from right now. And one of his main quotes, okay, give me a second, let me open it because I don't want to mess up this quote. You know what I mean? Yeah. He always believed that everybody have a really crucial role, whatever you are, whoever you are. We all are important piece of puzzle in this whole world, and we all have an obligation and capability to do our own role. His quote was, "I don't believe in fighting today on any one front, but on all fronts." Nice. On all single fronts. Maybe today we also use this chance to think about what's each of our fronts. What are the fronts that we're connected with, that we're involved in? Are we parents? That's a front with our children and family. Do we have a big circle of friends? Are we in a job that we can raise our voice and help to divest? Are we an activist? Are we an organizer? Whatever is the front that you're connected with, that's your role. You don't have to change your life. You just have to put Palestine and liberation of a human being as a compass on your vision board every day when you wake up, and you add this vision, you add this dream, you add this skill that you want to. Put that right there. Because honestly, I don't know how much time we have left. It's been on for 100 years since Brother Malcolm X, and it's still happening. 77 years. I'm tired of every single year coming and saying the Nakba is ongoing. We do feel powerless, but it's just we just need to reclaim our power. It's there, we have it. Reclaim our power. Let's connect to our feelings as we're walking, reclaim our power. Thank you again for everybody. Thank you for all the organizers. We have Mr. Harry from JVP. DSA is here. We United also chopped in. So I'm going to give it to Harry. And sorry, I did not even introduce myself. My name is Hadil. I'm from Australia for Palestine. And here's Harry.
Greetings, everybody. It's difficult to add to Hadil when she speaks so beautifully about the situation. We're here today commemorating 77 years of ongoing Nakba. We know, I don't have to tell you, the conditions that exist. I don't have to tell you that 77 years of Nakba included murder, displacement, occupation, apartheid, and now the most brutal genocide that we have seen this century. So the question is, with all that's going on in Gaza and in the West Bank and Jerusalem, and all that's going on in this country, what do we do? How do we act? Every morning, I wake up and I can't describe how I feel. It's indescribable. Every morning we wake up to brutal news. More people murdered, more people killed, more people displaced. Plans for removal of people from their own country. And it feels like we lose. Feels like we've lost. Feels like we've lost. Every time a human being is murdered, we feel like it's a loss. And it is a loss. We are suffering unbelievable loss. Loss to our humanity. But I want to tell you that yes, every incident is a loss, and the reason that it's happening is because we are winning. Because they're afraid. Because they know that justice and truth and humanity is on our side, and that the world knows it. And this is all they can do to try to maintain their power and their corruption and their hatred and their cruelty. So we here in Westchester just like people all across the country, especially in this country, but around the world, have a job to do. And we have to stick to that job. We have to understand all the things that's going on in Gaza. We understand it, we'll fight back any way that we can. We understand what's happening across the country with disappearances and definitions of anti-Semitism that make what I'm saying right now illegal and can send me to jail, and what we're doing here right now illegal. We know we have to fight back against that. We have to fight for free speech, but we can't get distracted by the noise around us and say we're gonna worry about anti-Semitism when the problem is what's going on in Gaza. So,
Can you hold the mic up just a little?
yep, I'm sorry.
There you go. You want help?
What I ask you to do is to remember that we live in Westchester. We think globally, but we act locally. There's a lot going on in Westchester that we have to fight back with. The Zionists in Westchester are very powerful. They're not a lot of them, but they're very organized, they have power, they have finances, and they won't stop at anything. The level of cruelty doesn't faze them. But we have people here that we need to take care of. We need to take care of our neighbors. We need to make sure that any person that's vulnerable is protected. That's our job too. We have to make sure that we're talking in neighborhoods and getting school board members elected and local people elected. And that the IRA definition of anti-Semitism is not allowed to be the working definition of anti-Semitism in Westchester County, which it is. Thank you, George Latimer. Thank you, Ken Jenkins. So I suggest that we take our time here in Westchester and work to make sure that people understand what's happening here, how people in communities are afraid to speak up, how Muslims, Palestinians are afraid to speak because they're fearful of what's going to happen to them. So sometimes we have to speak for them too. We have to speak up, we have to speak out, we have to work. We have to work harder than we have ever before because the situation is more dire than it's ever been before. So where you want to give up and lay back and say, I can't do it, it's too hard, my heart is broken, we can't give in to that. We have to stay focused. We have to stay focused here in Westchester on what we need to do in Westchester. We have to fight continually for everybody's freedom, like Adil said. Because one person's freedom is connected to everybody else's freedom. So I'm so happy to be amongst you. When my heart is broken, the thing that gives me more hope is to be among you all and to spend time with you all and to know that we are together, we're united, we're strong, and we're going to get ahead of them, and we're going to make sure that this ends. It will end.
It will.
It will end.
It will end.
It will end. It will end. And we have to endure the suffering that's taking place, unfortunately. But it's our fight, and we will work to make sure that Palestine is free.
Anybody from DSA would like to say anything? Okay. We love you, DSA. Thank you for, yeah?
I'm not prepared, but I'll say something real quick. All right. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming out to stand with Palestine. Hadil and Harry spoke beautifully as to the moment we're in. We're living in a moment of rising fascism, and we cannot separate that from the Zionist repression against our support for the liberation of Palestine. So I just want to say one thing, which is that one of the most important things we can be doing here, living in the U.S., the belly of the beast, the imperial core, is is we have to go after the Zionist entity where it hurts them the most, their profits, the U.S. investments. So if there's anything for us to take from this, anything else, it's that we really have to hit them in their funding, because as inevitable as Zionist propaganda makes it all seem, it's really not. They're only able to uphold this genocide because of the constant flow of money and weapons and political cover coming from the U.S. and this is coming from Democrats and Republicans alike. So I want us to leave here and really think: how can we stop this flow of weapons? How can we stop this flow of money? Because if we can hit them where it hurts, and Israel has started to hurt. We've seen their economy; it has been downgraded. So the pressure is on, and it's working. But we really have to turn it up. So I'll leave it there. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
I'm Stan Heller, came down from Connecticut. Just want to say a word about a good tactic that people are using to dramatize the starvation, and it is hunger strikes. At Yale University, 6 students stayed. I think now they're on their 9th day. Maybe they ended it because of graduation. But they were 6 days on hunger strike to dramatize what's going on. And that's something that we can adopt in various areas. And we just learned that this Thursday, the National Organization Veterans for Peace is calling for 30 days of modified hunger strike. And what they mean by this, the Trump administration is trying to do something that LBJ did in Vietnam, to put people in hamlets and to give them a certain amount of food to try to isolate them from the fighters. And they will give them very little food. They're estimating 250 calories a day, which is probably a bowl of cereal and a glass of orange juice, and that's it for the day. So think of ways to dramatize this, maybe join in the protest, that's a good tactic. Free Palestine!
Thank you so much. And we also have another visitor today. Thank you so much for showing up. Rabbi Yisrael David, please give it up. He would like to share something.
With the help of the Almighty, my name is Rabbi Yisrael David Weiss of Neturei Karta International Jews United Against Zionism. I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may be worthy of conveying His message and so sanctify His name, and inshallah bring peace to the world and a free Palestine. We are here gathered because it is the 77th year of this ruthless occupation, this bogus Judaism, this bogus state of Israel. Israel is Jacob in the Bible, the Star of David that they use, they wave on their flag. They, the state of Israel, is a group of people who have knowingly thrown the name Israel, the name Judaism under the bus. They've taken the whole concept of what it means, Judaism, which is to be subservient to God. They've taken that and turned it on its head into a base nationalism, a selfish, flawed group of people, a flawed concept to create a homeland, and totally ignoring both the whole belief of Judaism that we're supposed to serve God and be compassionate, that we're not allowed to steal or kill, and totally ignoring the inhabitants of the land that they set aside for their nationalist endeavor. Palestine, they picked this land because it was convenient for their national goal. It was convenient because they understood that they will gain the support of Christians of evangelistic Christians, of people around the world who look at the Bible and they say, wow, yeah, the children of Israel have the right to the land of Israel. But they are ignoring totally what Judaism is. If you will study Judaism, and if you will look at any religious community around the world, whether it is from Mea Sha'arim, the streets of Jerusalem, to the streets of Williamsburg, Brooklyn, right across from Manhattan, the very religious communities, they all oppose entirely the mere existence of the Zionist state of Israel because it's bogus. Judaism is subservience to God. Judaism is not to steal and not to kill. Judaism is Mahu Racham Afatatei Racham. Just as God is compassionate, you should be compassionate. We are to do kindness to people. We are required to show gratitude to people and lands, countries who have done good to the Jewish people. And we have, through hundreds of years of being persecuted in Europe, we were embraced by the Muslim and Arab countries. We were taken in, we were given a home, a safe haven, and we flourished amongst all the Arab and Muslim countries with a distinctly different religion. But it was never an impediment to coexistence. The Muslims, who are very, very religious Muslims, watched and honored the Jewish people amongst them. They gave them a home, they embraced them. And we put out our greatest rabbis for hundreds of years without any United Nations, human rights groups to protect us because it wasn't necessary. And that includes in the Ottoman Empire, includes in Jerusalem, where Jews lived side by side with their Muslim neighbors. They babysat each other's children. This was the life that we enjoyed together. So although there's a distinctly different religion, that is nothing in the equation. That has nothing to do with what we're witnessing today, of this turmoil, of this terrible Nakba, this terrible catastrophe, this occupation. Why? Because religion is not the issue. The issue is a selfish, flawed, nationalist endeavor that is on the heads and shoulders of people who are religious, who believe in God. It is a war against religion. It is a war. It is a war of anti-Semitism, yes, but not the anti-Semitism that's so vile and so repugnant that the Zionists are trying to portray. It is the Zionism, their occupation, that is the textbook Zionist anti-Semitism. It is the personification of everything anti-Semitic. Why? Because they're killing the Palestinian people, rivers of blood, murdering innocent people. They are oppressing any Jew who stands up in opposition to them. Why? Because they're anti-Semitic. They don't respect the Jewish people. Their own people who are in support of, who fell prey to their ideology, are dying. How many cemeteries of those over 77 years of Zionism, how many people are dead because of this flawed philosophy, because of this nationalism? Who needs this nationalism? What are they doing? They're creating havoc. They've created a rift, a hate, a mistrust between Muslims and Jews. A life that we lived for hundreds of years together is being destroyed by this selfish, flawed movement of 140 years called Zionism. Who are these Zionists? These Zionists are these are people who threw away entirely the yoke of God. Theodor Herzl, he wasn't a religious Jew. Ben-Gurion, Zev Jabotinsky, Chaim Weizmann, all the movers and shakers of Zionism. Look at this picture, the Declaration of Independence of the Zionists in 1948. At this momentous occasion, you don't see a person covering their head. You don't see a man with a beard, anybody covering their head, which a Jew is required to show that he believes that there's a God above him. At this historic moment, you would think they would have the respect, they would have the humbleness to bring a rabbi, to bring some rabbinical authorities, but no, their hubris, their haughtiness. They went and they sat down at this dais, every one of them spitting at God, and they create this national home, yet they have the audacity to put on the walls the Star of David and declare they're a Jewish state, and don't oppose them because God is giving them the state. When they're flaunting their rebellion against God, when they're not covering their heads, when they're declaring a rebellion against God, when God told us in the Torah, since the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago, we are forbidden to recreate even 1 inch, 1 centimeter of a Jewish sovereignty, and certainly not by imposing this on the heads and shoulders of another people, by stealing their land, by killing, and certainly not the people who are kind to us, who embraced us and gave us a home. Yet they come and they call it a Jewish state, and the evangelistic Christians and others support them. They use the Holocaust. They say, oh look, the Jews died at the Holocaust because the world was silent. Now you must support us in creating this state. What they're doing is abusing the Holocaust. My grandparents died in Auschwitz. My father-in-law was on the death march from Auschwitz. We live and breathe the Holocaust. They died because they were Jews who respected God. Now you're taking their ashes to rebel against God by killing and stealing and simply oppressing the people that are innocent, taking the land bogus in the name of God. How dare they do this with the ashes of our grandparents, our relatives of the Holocaust? Every facet of Zionism is a rebellion against God. Every facet of Zionism causes pain, suffering, hate, turmoil, rift between peoples and of God's creations. We dare not be silent. This is a Nakba. This is a Nakba. This is a colossal catastrophe. Because we are Jews, we are here. Because we are Jews, we will not be silent, God's help. We will not relinquish our identity. We will not relinquish our Judaism that our generations died for, to remain true to God and His Torah. We will not oppress another people. We will not steal the land of Palestine. We plead with our political leaders. You didn't get your job because it just happened so. You are blessed by God with certain blessings that I don't know exactly. Some of them are not such blessings, but you were blessed with God with certain abilities, and that you were able to go up the ladder of success, become a senator, a congressman, a president, a prime minister. Don't take it for granted. The only reason you're there is because God blessed you with that ability, with that position. And now, by standing silently when people are dying, and you have the capability, you have the power to stop the murder, the carnage of people, the suffering, and you're not doing anything, you may look at it as a short time win. A short time you're able to win another election. It's looking through a keyhole in the door. You may be looking at your success, but it's very short term. Ultimately, you will be standing in front of the Almighty who gave you this position. What will you say to Him? What did you do with this blessing that God gave you? Did you save lives, or were you the cause that more people should die? You will also answer to your grandchildren. We are children who went through the Holocaust, through our parents, our grandparents, and our neighbors, and many people pull the hair from the head, and they're embarrassed that they were silent.